Hi everyone, I'm Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a lovely style by Henry Margu to show you in a new color that Henry Margu has come out with for some of their styles. This is Avery and the new color is 1226 GR. I can't wait to get a good look at this style. This is my first time trying Avery. So first, I wanted to thank Shirley's Wig Shop for sending me Avery here so that I could review her for you. And also to let you know that Shirley has a private Facebook group called Shirley's Wig Shop, Hair's Looking at You Kid. It's a wonderful place to exchange ideas and information, get to know other wig wearers, or just show off your beautiful styles. And we invite you to join us there. Also, if you haven't done so already, I wanted to ask, please subscribe down below, like and comment, and we'll get started. So as you can see, Avery here is just a lovely, very low density and sleek, shorter style with these fringe pieces, or, well, they're really just longer, beautiful layers framing the face. So it's definitely not all one length. You have quite a few of these layers around the face. And when she arrives, she comes with a center part, not even zigzagged. But even though this is a center mono part, you do have enough lace that I think you can move that part over slightly, which I will want to do. I just happen to prefer left parts, so we will absolutely do that together. But first, I wanted to show her to you right out of the box. I have to say these synthetic fibers feel really silky and very fine in denier and soft and just beautiful. We can absolutely add a little volume to this style, and you could certainly also use some dry shampoo powder if you wanted to tone down shine a little bit. But let's go ahead and get a quick look at her right out of the box from all sides and all the details. First, we have this extended lace front, and it runs about from here to here on me. It's hard to, yeah, about there. And you can see this very delicate knotting, not too dense, with some lighter fibers in the front, creates a really beautiful, soft, and natural looking hairline. And then, as I said, we have that center mono part, which right now we're not seeing a lot of scalp appearance, but we will absolutely work on that, and I'm sure that will look very natural. Let's look at her from all sides. Here she is from the right, and the back, and the left. So really she feels almost razor cut, you know, very kind of this modern and edgy way of trimming the fibers where it seems like they're razor cut and kind of stick straight. That's the sense that you get, and very light. I think this would be a good style for the summer months when you just don't want a lot of fibers bothering you. You want something light and easy to wear. So next, we will go ahead and we will change this part line and steam it in place and steam the fibers away from the face a little bit. You can see they are falling forward quite a bit right out of the box, so we'll work on that together. Then we'll go over the cap construction. We'll look at some styling options for this beautiful style. I'll take her outside and we'll get a good look at this new color, this beautiful blonde and brunette shade outside in natural light, and then we'll go over final thoughts. So I have my rat tail comb here, and I'm ready to change this part line slightly. As I mentioned, this is a center mono part, so it is a dedicated center part, but you can move these part lines over slightly, either to the right or left, and we'll look at it when we look at the cap construction, but I can feel about how much space I have here. So I'll move it to the left slightly here towards the back, and then towards the front I can angle it even a little bit more. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, and I certainly can play with this once I put her on the blockhead as well if I'm not liking how that turned out, but I think that's going to be good for me. I like that look already. But of course, this will revert right back to that original part. So I need to go ahead and clip these fibers back. And just for me to take the style off and put her on the blockhead. And I'm seeing a little bit of scalp appearance. You might see it better right now, but I definitely want to place some scar tape under there to help create scalp appearance. You might be seeing some of my dark bio hair right now, and then we'll see what kind of a scalp appearance we get with that. So I'll put her on the blockhead next and we'll do some steaming. So she's on the blockhead, and as you can see, now we can see a nice amount of scalp appearance there through that monofilament. And I think that will work well. I like that part just slightly to the left. So I clip the fibers back. We're going to steam the new part in place first, and then steam the fibers away from the face on the blockhead just to create a little lift in the front so that fibers aren't falling forward as much. I have my little handheld clothes steamer here. This is the eye steamer that I purchased on Amazon, and I'll leave that in my description box down below. Also, I have a full video on my channel all about how I like to steam style synthetic and heat-friendly synthetic wigs with steam, and I'll link that in my description box down below. So as I mentioned, this is a traditional synthetic style, so the steam is safe on this, even though this is not a heat-friendly style. So let's go ahead and we'll get started. Be sure to direct the steam at the fibers, not at the delicate lace front or monofilament portions of the cap. Keep your steamer moving. Don't leave it in any one place for more than 3 seconds. All right, that should do it. Now I need to let these fibers cool completely so that the new style can set, and then I'll put her back on my head and we'll see if we like the results. So the fibers are nice and cool to the touch now. Let's go ahead, I'll remove the clips and we'll see if we like how this turned out. All right, well, I'm feeling like there's maybe even a little bit too much of a bend right here on top and here on, I don't know. I mean, I could absolutely wear her this way and it would probably relax. But I think I'm going to put her back on the blockhead and do just a little more steaming. I think I actually created a little bit too much of a bend. So let's do that together. Because I'm going to be touching the fibers with this correction, I am wearing some heat-resistant gloves. I purchased these on Amazon, and I'll leave that in my description box down below because the fibers can get quite hot and I want to protect my skin. So I recommend you do that if you're ever going to be touching fibers that you've just applied heat to. So let's go ahead and just relax this bend here a little bit. I think it turned out a little extreme and maybe flatten this side a little bit. All right, I think that's looking more natural to me now. Just a little bit of a bend away from the face, but nothing too extreme. So before we look at the cap construction, I did want to show you one more thing. And perhaps I'm being nitpicky. I noticed something when I was watching myself do the spin with this style. And it's something that I noticed in the back that I haven't really seen before on a style. So let me show you what I'm talking about, and I'm going to leave a screenshot right here so that you can see it when I did my spin earlier in the video. But what I discovered is that I think part of the reason that this style is so low density is that there is some thinning or some layering that was done in the back of the style. So you see that's the side and this is the back, and I have pulled some of the fibers up so you can see this weft, and there are several of them. And it's just a whole weft of shorter fibers. Can you see that? So they have that in the back, and I'm not sure how far to the side it goes, but I feel that I was seeing that a little bit from the surface. And part of the reason probably is that these fibers are so stick straight, they almost even flip out a little bit, that they become visible even though they're underneath longer fibers. You can see these longer fibers cover it, but even now with the naked eye, I can see a little bit peeking out. And certainly on my head, I saw that when I did that spin. So I want to work on that just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is position my blockhead so that it's tilting, and then we'll use some steam and try to just round all those fibers a little bit so that those stick straight fibers underneath that are layered underneath the longer fibers aren't visible from the surface, hopefully. So let me get her positioned and we'll give that a try. I have my plastic brush and my steamer, and I'm going to go ahead and work on bending those shorter fibers under just a little bit so that they're not protruding out through the surface layers and visible. So let's go ahead and do that together. All right, now you can see that I gave those shorter fibers in the back a little bit of a bend. I hope you can see that all the way around. And I'm hoping that will be sufficient because there are some more layers, but I do feel that this was the most visible layer. So I'm going to go ahead, let this cool, and see if I like those results. So let me do a spin and see what you think now. I think that looks a lot better. So next we'll look at the cap construction. First, I'll remove the piece of silicone scar tape that I like to use to help create scalp appearance where otherwise my dark bio hair might show through the monofilament. I like to use the AWD silicone scar sheets, and I will leave that in my description box down below. So as you can see, we have a center mono part, and there is a little bit of space to move your part around as I did. And we have an extended lace front that comes about halfway down the ear tabs on both sides, maybe a little more. So a really nice extended lace front, and I love that feature because this allows you to style the fibers away from the face and still have that appearance of hair growth all along that extended lace front. Love that feature. Then we have soft ear tabs with metal stays, an extended nape for a bit of extra coverage, and Velcro style adjusters. Now I have a 22-inch circumference head. All my measurements are listed in my description box down below in case you'd like to compare them to your own. This cap fits me very comfortably, and of course this open wefting in the back and on the sides does create a really nice and stretchy cap. I checked the style for permatease, and there is a little bit of permatease. It's really minimal. Primarily, I found some around this mono part area, you know, in this lace covered area here. So there was some permatease there and in the crown area, approximately around here. But really, I think it's well done, and it just really helps create a little bit of volume where you need it, and also hides wefts, of course. So really overall, a lovely cap construction. So let's look at some styling options for this adorable, extremely low density bob style. I always like to test an ear tuck, of course, and gosh, you could do a full tuck on either side with this one. It's so low density, not at all too bulky. I would do one at a time. You see, I think that works extremely well and is a cute look. Then when you have these longer fringe pieces, the sort of side swept fringe or face framing layers, I like to sometimes take a little claw clip and just take this front section of fibers, give it a little twist maybe, and clip that in place. And that is an easy way to keep those fibers out of your face throughout the day when you're working. And I think it's a cute look too. Works well, easily removed. Then I always like to use a headband. This just keeps all the fibers away from your face and also allows me to show you what kind of coverage I'm getting from the style. Yep, that works well, just pulls everything back and is a cute look. Now let's get a good look at that hairline again. So extended lace front from here to here. Extremely well done, beautiful parting space. We have that silicone scar tape under there. And let me go ahead and show you what kind of coverage. So I'm running my finger along the edge there, and that, let me make sure the ear tabs are flat. That's the bottom of the ear tab, actually on both sides. So really a nice amount of coverage. I have a fairly low hairline, and so some of my bio hair is always showing. That's not at all unusual. Absolutely love that. All right, and I think in terms of a ponytail, if you watch my channel, you know I love to create ponytails. For me, this is just not quite long enough for me to want to wear this in a ponytail. it would create the tiniest little stubby ponytail. But if your head circumference is smaller than mine, smaller than 22 inches, you might be able to create a little ponytail as well. So let's get a good look at this beautiful new color, 1226 GR by Henry Margu. Just a stunning shade. I love it. It's described as a light golden brown, and you can see the brunette shades in there, with light blonde and gold blonde highlights. And when I look carefully, I see quite a bit of the gold highlights, but blended beautifully with that lighter blonde as well. Just stunning. And medium brown roots. And so this is a rooted shade. And as you can see, we have just a very natural looking root here, not too dark, not too long. And I just find that having a little bit of rooting really adds to the realism and makes it look like there's a little bit of regrowth, you know. So I absolutely love those colors. And this, to me, it reads as a warm blonde or brunette. Blonde really is accurate because the 12, of course, the base color is a brunette, but I see a lot of blonde in there with the highlighting, and think it's a lovely combination that would work for a lot of people. Let's look at the details. Again, we have that beautiful lace front, some lighter fibers in the front to help soften that hairline. Beautifully done. And then the parting space with the scar tape under there. I think that looks very natural. Let's get a quick look at this beautiful color from all sides. Here she is from the right and the back and the left. So absolutely, just a wonderful blonde shade with some very natural looking rooting, slightly warm or at most neutral leaning warm. Gorgeous color and suits this little bob style extremely well. So final thoughts. Avery by Henry Margu here is just an absolutely adorable, very low density little sleek bob style that I think would be wonderful for the summer months or any time really if you want to be careful and not be too warm in your wig. I think this is a very light and comfortable style. And these synthetic fibers are just so wispy and delicate, really a fine denier. And it almost looks razor cut with these layers, you know, very edgy. And I think you have quite a bit of layering throughout. These longer pieces in the front, you either, you know, you could trim bangs, of course, or you can kind of have a side swept fringe, but they also are lovely and just add a little shape to it. So really a beautiful low density style. I love the features. I love the center mono part that had enough space here in the lace front that I was able to change it slightly to a left part. And you could do that on either side, of course. And the extended lace front, as we said, is wonderful and very natural looking. So another favorite of mine, that feature. These fibers, these synthetic fibers, shouldn't require too much maintenance because you won't experience a lot of friction. And of course, the traditional synthetic fibers require less maintenance than the heat-friendly synthetic fibers do. So very practical from that standpoint. This new color, the 1226 GR, I was very curious to try it. I love Henry Margu's 82726 GR, so definitely some similarities in those numbers there. That is a much more of a brunette shade though, and this I would definitely describe more as a blonde. Quite a bit of blonde in here with the brunette, but just a beautiful shade that I think would work for a lot of people with this very natural looking rooting as well. So just a lovely style, a beautiful color. I wanted to remind you that you can purchase Avery here from Shirley's Wig Shop, and I will leave a direct link to it in the description box down below. And also, I wanted to thank you for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.